Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to Back The Pak, another episode. It's been a while, but we're back. We want to jump straight into coverage on the Barcelona tour that's just kind of completed not too long ago. Yeah, man, some interesting results.
Wow,
Some positive stuff to talk about.
yes, 100%. Hello, everyone. Hello, team. Hello, Asim.
Umar, Asim, we're still here.
We're still here. We haven't changed our names. No, it's been it's been a while, but yeah, let's go straight into the Bok tour of Australia.
Yeah.
Good tour. Well, the one day's work. T20 is not so good, which was surprising actually, because I think with the whole Rizwan coming in and captaining the side, and I think my expectation was we should get hammered in the ODIs and really do well in T20s.
Yeah, it was surprising, but I think there's a lot of change that's taken place. A lot of things that obviously you can see that they're still trying to find their mojo, I think is the word. That
I think they've done really well in the ODIs. Generally, like for the last couple of tours,
which is good because obviously Champions Trophy coming up, so that's what's important. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're mentally focused on, what's to come. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Very, obviously, T20 we were dominating for so long.
Very strange. But you know what? It's
Boxer.
we are very strange.
We shouldn't.
we shouldn't. But and look, that perfectly leads me on to Simon Ayub.
Mate, finally, innit?
What a great comeback.
Yeah, bro. Like literally, obviously, I was just saying before we start recording that not many players get the opportunity to keep coming, keep trying, which has always been our kind of criticism, that why do we not give them a chance and let them grow? Especially because sometimes, like we've pointed out before, someone like him, he's had domestic success, and then you expect him to suddenly perform at the international level. And it's such a big jump, especially jumping from Pakistan domestic level to, it's not like they've played counties and this and that.
I mean, I remember when he first burst onto the scene a few years back, and I was, is it too early to bring this kid in? They're going to ruin him because he's not. They need to mold him. They need to groom him, get him ready, and they're throwing him straight into the deep end, and he flopped, which was bound to happen. And then I thought, this is sad because there was a glimpse of, really good talent with him.
That's always been the criticism, though. It's the raw talent that you can see, those little flicks and this that he does.
But I wasn't really initially. I was like, what is this no look shot?
Gimmick.
It was his downfall too. But he perfected it in Australia. Yeah, and I still remember that ODI in Adelaide, and he was flicking stock into the stands, and Hazelwood came back and even gave him a bit of a beating as well. So it's really good overall. Simon Ayub come back, it is so good to see him, and the stability he brought in the top order.
But then the injury.
And then now the injury. I mean, let's talk about the South Africa tour as well, because he done really well in the white ball cricket. But then the injury came through the Test series.
The South Africa tour in general. I mean, the Oz tour was one thing, but I really enjoyed the South Africa tour because they're very balanced. Yeah, two balanced sides.
Because the thing is, when you go to Australia, any team that goes to Australia, they're gonna face big challenges, especially the subcontinent teams, because they don't get those tracks. They don't get those bouncy tracks. The Perth and the Gabbers and Melbourne. I mean, Melbourne's still a bit more batsman friendly, but the only the downfall for subcontinent teams to go and play in Oz, and especially at the MCG, there's their big boundaries. And India probably, I'd say, out of all the Asian subcontinent teams, India's probably by far got better range hitting.
Yeah.
We don't have that. So sometimes it's it's going, boom, and it's not one. So
they don't clear.
They don't clear it. Where India players were clearing their legs better, and they can really hit into stands. But Simon Ayub, on the other hand, he showed actually we can range hit.
Yeah.
And he was clean hitting them. And they were not just going into the first row, they were going into the second tier, third tier, further up, into the top stand. So it's good to see that leading, like you said, to the Champions Trophy, like our range hitting is good in the top order. But even if you go a bit below, Kamran Ghulam,
he's
a good talent, and there's some, Abbas Afridi with his bowling, etc. Maybe he needs a bit more work, but he's still good. Haris Rauf, I expected him to do well in Australia, and he proved me right. He's brilliant. He's currently playing the BBO, and he's an expert on those Aussie tracks. So it's good. But SA Tour was, like I said, I've always enjoyed watching cricket in South Africa. There's something about it. I don't know what
it's just the bowl. It's the scenery as well. It makes
backdrops are nice.
It's just a different feeling, isn't it?
It's on my
bucket list.
I really want to.
I think we discussed this, but I've been in South Africa, but I didn't manage to watch cricket there, so that's always something that I want to go back to.
And they've got the SA20. I want to go to it. I really enjoy that franchise. Franchise cricket. I don't enjoy all franchise, but that SA20 is good fun to watch, and I'd love to be there. So that was good. And then obviously, like we talked about, his injury.
It's a shame,
really shame,
especially at this point where he's finally hit form. But then like we were discussing once again, and the point you made is, do we want to bring him back for the Champions Trophy, which is what is rumoured.
So the rumour is that in the next couple of weeks he'll be starting his training, or the next week or something along. So he's currently here in the UK doing his rehab, and I'm glad that the PCB finally pulled their pants up and actually doing something about it in terms of funding it. So we had that whole scenario with Shaheen Afridi when he had that ligament tear.
And Nassim as well, didn't it?
No, but Nassim was paid for. But what I'm saying is, the Shaheen Afridi scenario was that when that World Cup final, and he had that tear, he funded himself. And I was listening to a pod. I can't remember who it was, in fact. And I didn't know this bit, actually, that he was not just funding himself at his own pocket, but he was staying in like 3-star like motels, B&B type things, I was like, oh damn. And then the only reason that the PCB got involved was because the fans, made a mockery out of the situation. And I think PCB was embarrassed, so they not only paid for the treatment, they moved him to more 5-star hotels, gave him more comfort, reimbursed what he had already spent. And now obviously with Simon Ayub, I think it was Azhar Mahmood that flew him back into London from SA. And now he's actually looking after him, which is good to know, because Azhar Mahmood obviously he resides there, so he's got all the experience and the contacts, etc. So that's good. But going back to, should he come back? To me, in all honesty, as much as it's sad, I don't think it's worth us risking a talent like that for the next 10-15 years. We're going to risk someone's career, a good 10-15 year career, for a measly Champions Trophy. And no disrespect to
just for one trophy.
What's for one trophy?
Just to try and succeed.
What is that going to achieve? Because
we'll get onto the trophy itself, because I've got a lot of criticism to come for that. That's why I'm kind of waiting for, bro. But
on his own.
But also you wrote obviously the marathon test.
I called it the marathon test. The second test match in South Africa.
Big runs.
I mean, there were over 1,200 runs scored. And to be honest, I remember when I was texting you saying, why couldn't we bat like this in the first innings? Why did it take a follow-on for this to happen? And it was like as if they were batting on a different pitch.
But it was nice in that it was real Test cricket. Like when you talk about Test cricket. Because obviously, quite often you'll see the big score and then it'll be like an innings victory and that's it.
But there were people, like, as in when I say people, like media fans, etc., or whoever it was, they was calling it a victory, moral victory.
Who, to us?
I mean, don't know. But why? How is it?
I guess
we lost.
There was that, but there was the aspect that we could have lost by an innings, bro. And there was the fact that we fought back. And it was a good fight back. And there was a moment where you thought, hang on, are we actually going to be able to accelerate past and continue on, make a total and actually defend it.
But I think
I know what you mean. It's not more a victory. I don't think victory isn't the right word, but it was a positive. You know, like if we were to have made a pod straight after that, we could have sat down and gone. I would have been the one to sit down and go, brother, we lost, but at least you can see.
No, but what I'm saying is that in life,
Here we go.
like, come on. But I'm the one who's going to do this. Yeah. In life, you either win or you lose.
100%.
Correct, yeah?
No, 100%.
I'm not.
The records
I'm
will
standing
always.
a bit
Yes, no, 100%.
but it's either win or lose. Life in general is win or lose. There's no middle ground. There's no.
But by the time you got to remember, we watch, especially as fans and especially as Pakistan fans, in these situations, we're used to. Well, we're not used to anything. This is what we were saying just before as well. We can't expect anything in it, or we can't assume anything, and that's where watching that performance, you know, like I say, like we could have just watched it. Like the first obviously them putting the runs on the board, we were just waiting to see like, come on, something, you know. And when you see that spark, and when you see that, it's still something. It's nice to watch. It's good to watch.
I'm glad Barber finally got some runs.
Yeah,
which is good to see that. Even though I know me and you've got this two theories of this, that I think Barber getting runs is good. However, I think there's a bit of lack of concentration where he can't turn those 50, 60, 80s into hundreds.
But bro, don't you think? I mean, let's talk about that now since you brought it up. Like for me, right, and my reason for saying that, my thing is I still think that he's batting with fear because
What's the fear though?
I don't know. I'm not him.
Is it? And just thinking out loud.
In theory,
is it? Oh, I have to do something, otherwise sooner or later I'm going to get dropped.
I don't think he's got a fear of being dropped because if he was going to get dropped, he should have been dropped by now.
So what?
At some point.
So what is the fear? I don't know.
His fear, for me, what I see when I watch him play is because we've seen this guy hit hundreds. We watched him live. We've seen him, and you see the body language and he's not the same man. Ever since this whole captaincy, back forth, this and that and the other, he's trying to take it on his shoulders, yes. So I think he's got a bit of that still in him, that he'll never lose that he thinks, and I think the team thinks, ke Babar kar lega, right? That's always been the thing. He's got that pressure. But that pressure will never go away, captaincy or no captaincy.
No, but
for him,
he's Babar.
That's what I'm saying, for him.
He's Babar for life, right?
Exactly. So he has to deal with that, whatever it takes, psychologists, whatever, this and that. But for me, the concern I have is the way he gets out.
Silly.
Whenever he gets out.
That same shot.
It's always the same thing.
Outside. Fishing.
Little loose,
but it's a nothing
shot.
It's not a shot.
Exactly. It's just
it's like a, shall I go for it or not go for it?
And that hesitation shows. Because if he's getting out like playing,
bold,
then it's like, all right, cool. Like,
but you know, there's a pattern in the since 2023 World Cup, the 50 over one. I've noticed a pattern in his dismissals. Two types of dismissals. He's constantly having, and you can pick up any videos of this and go back and watch his dismissals since 23. Is either outside the off, fishing, shall I hit it, shall I not hit it, or let me leave it and it touches edges, or mid wicket.
Yeah.
I still remember the World Cup game, 23 World Cup game against Netherlands, opening game.
Yeah.
Caught at mid-wicket. Then there was another game that same tournament, caught at mid-wicket. Then after that, all the other tournaments and tours that he's played is caught behind, and it's not caught behind, it's in the slips. Again, it's the half-part shot. The T20 World Cup in New York against India, same shot. You know, now in the South Africa tour, same shots. Australia got him same shot.
There's a lot of that in this.
So what I'm saying is that there's a trend here. So if I was the batting coach, I think for sure we need a psychologist in the team.
There's something, like I say, for me,
there is definitely something.
Bro, you know, someone like him. You know, you talk about Simon Hughes, whatever. It was just about getting him time at the wicket, international level of bowling coming at him, blah blah blah. That's all he needed, and his bowling's come a long way as well. You know, it's also clicking. But someone like Barber, who you know he's done it, it's not it's not. You're not going to teach him anything new on the pitch. You're not going to suddenly go, "Oh yeah, this is a
You
shot."
can't, but I think
change. Or
I think
this or
not.
that.
I think the batting coach needs to sit with the psychologist and him. They need to have a few sessions and maybe just try and peel off layers because there might be something that.
But there's, I mean, I could go on, bro.
No, I'm just
breaking this down. Obviously, if we had some footage as well, that would be great. But it's just one of them things where, like, bro, if you look at, so for example, I'll give you another thing about him is when I see him back with Simon Yu, I don't see that. I feel like as soon as Rizwan comes in, right, and it's him and Rizwan, I personally, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just, but I take a sigh of relief, like, all right, we're all right for a bit.
That's because we've been so used to it.
But it shouldn't be. He should be able to have, and maybe it'll change because these guys are performing now and whatnot. But he needs to let that pressure. That pressure needs to go because you've seen it with others where like the captaincy was the problem, right? Where the responsibility was on the shoulders. And I would argue with Barber, the problem is that we gave him the responsibility, took it away. I feel like that's damaged him, like you say, psychologically. Like there's something there that he needs to work on or whatever.
And I still think, sorry to cut you, I still think as soon as you said to him you're opening, he clicks. He's been clicking. You think in the test series now, I mean, he's batted him from 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah? The moment the follow one was put on, all of a sudden it's like, what's going on there?
No, I'll give you that.
And then all of a sudden Pakistan are 200 for 0.
Even I was like, wait, what they doing?
But they were 200 for 0. And you know what? Let's not take the light off Sean Masood here.
Yeah.
Because he played a marathon innings, right? And I thought he was going to go and get a 300 at one point. He was reminding me of there were glimpses of Yunus Khan style, you know, that I'm not going from this wicket, yeah? And I thought to myself, okay, they were 200 for 0. Then they went 200 for 1, or 205 for 1. And I remember sleeping that evening, and just before I was sleeping, I'm always
thinking about the team, thinking about the day.
Honestly, thinking about cricket. This is mad. Like, forget family and kids. We're just talking about cricket. But like, I was thinking, imagine if I wake up tomorrow, they're still batting, and just knock off another 100. Yeah, deficit, bring it further. So they might lose one more. Knock off another. That's 400. Yeah, we're 400 for 2, 400 for 3 max. And guess what? Sean is still there.
Yeah.
Barber is still, you know, whatever it was. And I thought, hang on, bit optimistic here, but
we could do it.
We may be able to win this.
That's one. That's,
you know, so there
that's
was
where it came from, bro.
There was. But I'm not taking away that test series, the second test match. But I don't know. Like, I wish we had batted a bit more Josh, a bit more like, you know, fearless in the first innings. And you know, I was disappointed in our bowling because we had more of the boss back, and I was like, well, like, why can't these guys? How we let that Rick turn getting 250 odd runs, and I'm not again, no disrespect to him, he's a good batsman, but like I just didn't get it. Like this is strange. But anyway, Chalo, series done. I still think it was a good series. I'm not taking that away. I enjoyed the whole tour of Oz, the whole tour of SA. I absolutely hated the Zimbabwe tour. It was just like watch it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was
paint dry. You know, I just can't do it. Yeah, but
we did it.
But we did it. Yeah. We did it, and there was like coverage.
Coverage. Yeah.
I think I was watching it on my Geo and
we had to get the sticks out,
pixels, and I was like, what is this? But anyway, that's you know, that's that. But there was a tour that was happening in between our tour.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved every test played, and it was the BGT, the Border Gavaskar Trophy.
No, I mean, you take the lead.
I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant, right? First test, I thought, oh gosh, India's looking good. You know, what is this? Australia, hey, you guys better get your game plan in place because these boys are here to do something, you know. And then obviously things change, etc. But even then, even the fact that Australia, obviously they won the trophy, etc. But what a great series. India was absolutely outstanding. I think they played one of the best test cricket I've seen in a long time. I think the bad omen was Rohit Sharma. because and I like Rohit. I really like the hitman. I actually genuinely like watching this guy. But Bumrah, he first test he won it, then Roy took over, and unfortunately they didn't. And that pink day test, the last one. Actually, let's go back to the day and night test. That was really good. But out of all the, I actually used to stay up.
Yeah.
And I used to be the only one up there.
You were watching.
We got WhatsApp group, like me, Awesome, and a couple of lads. And I was in there, and I was like, "Oh, look at this ball, and you should check this out." And what's this? And then Constas, the new kid on the block.
He was
my gosh, I have to talk about it. Yeah, I was so excited watching this kid. He is so good because he come from the Sheffield Shield, which is like the domestic version of Australian cricket, which they call the grade cricket, because that's how they there's a ranking system on how they before they come into Australia, and I love this because they come on merit. And then he played BBL and stuff in between, and the guy was just brilliant. But then in the Constas MCG test, when he was ramping Bumrah, I mean that. Listen, did you see any of the MCG test?
Yeah. Bro, I was watching it, but I wasn't like.
But did you see? Like, I was watching ball for ball, right? And the whole battle between Bumrah and Constas, it was outstanding. Siraj and Constas, he was just teasing them, and I remember it was Rishabh Pant and Kohli were laughing at him, and to the point where the commentators were like, "What the hell is he doing? Like, is he dumb or something? Like, what's he doing?" And in my head, I was like, "Now he's gonna do something in a minute, because he's gearing up for this." And then as soon as you ramped him first, wow, beautiful! I think he got 19 or 20 runs off that one over, and I texted saying he just smashed him for like 19 or 20 runs. But it's the way, the cheekiness, it was just brilliant. Like Constant, I think he's going to be great for Australia. I think.
Yeah, one to watch, bro.
100% one to watch. Honestly, BGT was one of the best test series I've seen.
Very serious, bro.
I enjoyed it better.
I followed it enough for that, but
I enjoyed it better than the Ashes.
I think,
and they sold out. They sold out the stadiums.
I know this is the rivalry, man.
This is the biggest rivalry. Personally, I
got to be real. Yeah, no, it is.
I think.
I mean, there's lots of reasons for that, and I can go on that.
There's.
But the reality is that where the money is, that's where they're going to get the most talent.
I'd like to talk about Constas and Kohli and that little argy-bargy that they had, which I'm really disappointed actually, because I look up to you too as a great cricketer.
Yeah.
What the hell were you thinking? He's a little kid. Like, you don't push. You just don't do that. It's not a physical sport. Like, it's not.
No, that's outside.
What are you doing?
It's not cricket.
It's not cricket. I mean, I get it. We're not in the era of the gentleman's game. Those days are done. That is just disgusting. I thought it was disgusting. And the fact that you didn't get reprimanded.
But that's just.
It's a joke, isn't it?
Outside the
one demerit point. I didn't enjoy that. But anyway, that's.
Who was the one? You just reminded me actually talking about this type of thing. Who was the one that threw the ball at Barber?
South Africa. It wasn't Jansen.
That was a little bit funny, bro. That was funny. It didn't last long, but
I can't remember who it was.
I was watching that live and thinking,
that was quite funny. But then the difference with that was, Jolo, the bowler, did the Batamizi.
Yeah. But then he apologized.
He apologized.
Like 2 balls later, he was angry.
I know, but I think
he tried the next ball. He did try something, and he then thought, okay, you know what? But
this is Barber.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of respect.
What do we about you think when someone tries it with Rizwan and then you just see him cheeky on the other side? But you can't do nothing. Like, he's beating you already.
But exactly. But the whole Barber scenario when the ball got thrown at him, Barber at that point went straight to Markram.
Yeah. He goes like, why?
What's going on? And that's what I love.
I think
there's a respectful way of doing it, and
I think that was.
And they laughed it off.
Yeah, in fact, I think that was almost the perfect sort of window, because you have that moment.
Yeah,
it's naturally human.
Yeah, of course.
It's fiery.
No. This is what I'm saying.
And then
even going back to the BGT,
and then
like
the contrast.
Listen, I love the fact you have to have some
fire,
like in physical contact, pushing, shoving for a world legend like Kohli.
Yeah,
that's not right. And then Siraj jumped on the bandwagon.
But then we've heard Kohli's brand has always been that that fire is part of that as well. I know there's
he's a bit
element of it is
Yeah,
always
but
been there, unfortunately, which is what's always taken away from him, unfortunately, even when we, look at him as a whole.
He's a bit old.
But he's always had that in him. Yeah.
He's always been like that. But I think right now in his career,
it
was uncalled for. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So
but anyway, that was
moving on to PSL.
PSL auctions are there. Yeah.
Want to touch on it briefly because obviously there's a lot of content there. But you're mentioning the Zalmi team.
So I think I was looking at all the teams: Lower Karachi, Quetta, Zalmi, Multan, Islu. I think Zalmi's got the strongest side. And I was looking at their platinum players from all the teams, and I'll quickly go through let's go to Lahore. So their platinum players is Daryl Mitchell, Fakhar Zaman, Shaheen Shah. Expected, absolutely platinum players. I don't know. Lahore has been good though. The last few seasons, and they've had some great run. Will they have the pedigree to go and win it?
It's the balance, isn't it? They've got the balance of
Karachi.
I was going to talk about it separately.
Listen, Karachi.
It's the Trump, innit? It's the Trump.
They've got the Trump card.
Off the whole PSL. It's not even just about Karachi, this and that. It's about what it means for the fact.
Got David Warner. That's a big thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. One of the best franchise players. Forget franchise. David Warner is a box office name. You put him in any format.
And the fact that he's had that relationship with the IPL for so long.
So you know what happened there, right? I briefly spoke. So I was saying that the IPL auction happened and these players didn't get picked, surprisingly. So they went to the PSL. I'm surprised. I mean,
we might see a bit of push in box on.
Oh yeah, because he does that.
That's what I'm saying. His relationship with IPL and in the Indian.
I think
it's quite surprising that it's broken in this way. But it's hard to
listen. It's all good. David Warner made box office. I think Karachi's done a big job on that one. Quetta, I think looks weak.
Yeah.
For me, Quetta looks weak. They could surprise us all.
Who knows, man?
But I think they're weak.
Yeah.
We've talked about PZ. I think Zalmi, Babar, Siam, Mohammad Haris. I mean, that list is platinum category.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Even though Haris is not in the platinum category, there's another. I can't remember who it is. I can't remember who it is. Multan look weak. Riz is there. They look weak. But let's see. Again, don't know. And Islamabad, I've always had a soft spot for Islu.
Yeah, well,
that's my home. Home team. So Naseem Shah, Shadawa in the platinum category. But I'm just thinking, Imad Wasim is still there. He didn't get platinum, which is good. Who else is there? Azam Khan. I'm not getting into this because I've had. I'm not talking about it. But yeah, listen, I think Islamabad, Peshawar, and after that, Lahore. But that's just on paper.
Yeah, more than
Can we just talk about that? Please.
Good.
That was quite funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally
he won the match. Yeah,
old school, like we were saying, it's an old school one.
Yeah, he did that old school one. He sparked a quick little capstan, mate. Had a little cheeky capstan. It must have been a gold leaf.
Brother, yeah.
Isn't it?
Whatever they could get in.
He's like, he got a that's true as well, actually.
In the stadium, man.
He had a quick little in the end, you thought, F this, mate. I'm sparking up right now, mate. I think we've won the tournament.
Done.
So, yeah, anyway, that's interesting. I mean, going back to the last segment of this.
Brother, I'm not going to lean back for this because I need to. The emotions in this one. I'm going to start.
Yeah,
so,
go for it.
Just to get off my chest, bro.
Go for it.
Champions Trophy in 2025, Pakistan, apparently. So, this is it, bro. I just can't. I'm just upset, bro. From day dot, we've been. I mean, it's not the first time this has happened to us, right? Because we had the Asia Cups fiasco where they didn't even have Pakistan next to the trophy, the tournament name. And on the logo, and that.
Well, India refused to wear the shirt, didn't they?
Well, I don't know, bro.
No, but that's what.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Surprised. But Yeah, so that happened.
How are they going to wear this shirt?
I don't know. It's with pain, but the point is,
They get a separate shirt.
yeah,
Ahmedabad. Modi.
basically, but so,
Go on, sorry, BJP. Yeah,
but
sorry.
I finished.
Yeah,
editing.
finish. Editing.
So-
Not.
So
I sound like a great cricketer right now.
my problem is, right, you've given this tournament. I was just so excited, bro. And you'll remember when they announced the tournaments coming up. Must have been about 4 or 5 years ago, and the calendar got announced.
It was 3.
Oi,
Yeah.
like with
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Right? And I remember we were off the highs of going to all the tournaments together and all that. And I said, "Baijan, Pakistan, ka naam aaya hai.
We're going.
We are going to Pakistan."
Yeah, 100%.
Right now, personally,
I did say
and we obviously,
I don't think it's going to happen.
yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we all said that if
But yeah, we were excited.
Right.
We were excited. We were excited
Now-
to go.
what they've done now, and we knew it was coming, and they longed it out and they longed it out till they got to the point where I think they had no choice but to do what they've done now, because that's the only reason I can see them going this path. But we pushed for, from what what it seemed like is Pakistan wanted to have it all, obviously, like they should have, in my opinion. India had their little what's it called?
Was that the
dug
problem?
their heels in and said, "Kiji, we're not going to go to Pakistan."
Let's clarify one thing.
100.
It's not the cricket team. It's the government.
The board.
The board,
Officially, it's the board.
which is
Represented by the government.
represented
But
by the government.
Officially, it's the board, right? So the
So
India board
the
is
strings are
"Okay, how many
pulled by-
right? We're not going to go. To get Pakistan security problems, this, that, and the other. Now,
All of a sudden, yeah.
this went on and on and on and on till about a couple of months ago, a month and a bit ago, when officially the news started leaking out. Okay, the hybrid model has been approved. India's matches are going to take place somewhere else. Could have been Sri Lanka, Dubai, whatever. We didn't even know. Eventually, at some point it got confirmed that it's Dubai. That's what we're talking about. Now, for me personally, this is unacceptable.
I
It
agree.
is maybe should have been expected, because this is what seems to be happening since the Asia Cup. And now they've obviously, this deal is apparently for all future tours and everything, and future tournaments and whatnot, up till 5 years?
2027.
Something stupid.
That'll be the last year of
This deal.
which will be extended.
Now,
I think it's
when the precedent has been set,
of course.
yeah, this is how it is. Now, for me personally, if you're going to give a tournament to Pakistan, right, there should have been a scenario. I know it might sound unrealistic, but there should have been a scenario where Pakistan were able to say, "India, you either come or you don't play," because that's what happened with us
No, but that's
when the World Cup happened.
but Mohsin Naqvi, that's exactly what he said.
That's what proposed.
नहीं उसने यही कहा था ना.
It was
Then all of a
proposed in
sudden he backtracked.
But then, like you say, some people are seeing this as a victory. Yeah, at least we're still getting cricket
Yeah.
in Pakistan.
I cannot understand how the fans and the media, it's the media more to be fair, how are they calling this a moral victory or a victory for Pakistan as a nation? How? I don't get it.
Bro, I'm not,
It's not a victory.
I'm not even able. I think
Yeah, we've bowed down.
I'm not even
Pakistan
able. I
has
think
bowed.
we've left it too late, maybe, just to cover this. But I just feel like
Yeah,
now,
but-
by this point, I've accepted that this is what's happening.
Yeah, we
But-
don't have a choice except again.
On the
I've
build-up-
got my flights and my hotel.
Oh,
I'm
so then
going.
there's this other angle.
This is a joke.
Dubai, John,
I'm going.
yeah, if it's in Dubai, I'm going.
No, I'm going.
Which is, you booked your tickets, you're waiting.
Booked anything. I still ain't got match
We're
tickets.
talking about match tickets.
One match ticket है ही नहीं. अभी तक they haven't released.
What did you just find out? Rumored of how much?
Oh yeah, so today I got an email from ICC to say okay, we've received your interest.
Yeah, what do we get? The registration, yeah.
Yeah,
But what was the
and you'll be
rumor
the
for
first, and then
tickets pricing?
then a couple of sources have revealed the prices. So
I think the Pakistan prices have been confirmed, in it.
what to confirm हो गया ना.
So this and that.
I
This
think
is all very reasonable, I think, across the board.
I'll
Those
be
who can
honest,
afford it can pay the VVs and all that.
the general public.
Yeah. That's all reasonable, bro.
It's
all reasonable.
it's okay. It's still I still think it's
It'll
a
get
bit.
packed.
नहीं वो तो होगा, but I
So that's
still
not the issue.
I still feel it's a little bit too much for the
General level.
general awam, right? But still, it's reasonable. I think for like was it £16 being the cheapest? But £16 a lot in Pakistan though. Yeah, for the
yeah. We always
for
look at it from a Western perspective,
but
yeah.
for like
if
the
you look at it from,
VIP.
if you look at it from the perspective of Monday coming from abroad as well, obviously you're going to get Aussie fans, this fans, that
it's
fans,
cheap.
inshallah, everyone's going to be there.
The VVIP enclosures.
Was it 40?
No, yeah, they were. Gosh, no, they were 70.
Okay.
But that was only in the galleries. That's above the VVIP.
That's what I'm saying. It was 30 each for the VVIP.
£36 is VVIP.
Then 70.
And 70 was for the gallery.
Obviously
Then the boxes were £5,000. But then when you split it, if you've got like a large group, it kind of works out all right. So, but anyway, going to Dubai now.
Rumors.
The rumors are, when I did the conversion rate for a general admission for the India-Pakistan game at Dubai Sports City, what did I say to you? £389? £379 and £389? Yeah, I'm going. I'm taking my daughter. Like, we're excited. She's excited. She wants to.
The matches,
She wants to watch the Pakistan-India game. I haven't got that much time off to go to Pakistan and
watch the whole thing,
etc. And it's school and all that. So I said, Chalo, you know what? Let's go here. But I'm thinking, if it does turn out to be £389 general admission per head,
and then those are going to get snapped up as well.
That's a lot of money, guys. So, that is a lot of money.
It's interesting. It's not
out yet, but
it's not confirmed. I mean, maybe it won't be outside, but normally, unfortunately, when these rumors start, they're normally true.
Yeah. I mean, the rumor of the tournament being moved to Dubai, as in hybrid, etc., that was going on before the ICC meeting that even happened.
Yeah. Well, we said in Sri Lanka or Dubai, and that was the thing.
Yeah, I prefer it in Dubai because it'll be better organized.
It's accessible.
And it's accessible.
Easy infrastructure. Accessible. Obviously, there's the argument that Sri Lanka got the proper cricket pitches in that respect.
I'm talking about like in terms of
cricketing nation as well.
You get to Dubai, it's not.
Well, so when they go to Sri Lanka, then it kind of becomes like, well, then are we co-hosting because they play as well? They'll be in the tournament.
But then UAE is a co-host.
Yeah, but it's not the same level as what I'm saying.
You know what's more non-Indian teams haven't spoken.
Well.
And they are now going to be traveling like headless chickens.
But this is
because
this is a sign of things.
One team cannot go to the host nation.
So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, this is the thing. Like, I don't know. First of all, I don't know if we've spoken about them here, but I remember I sent you the link for this documentary a little while ago. Not documentary. The American comedian.
Yeah, the geezer that did the.
No,
yeah, was it the one that about the IPL?
About the corruption. That was a few years ago now.
He's actually
really wicked guy, man.
He's Indian, no?
Indian Muslim guy, that does comedy. Obviously, the American guy, background, Anyway, he spoke about it really well, and if it's still on Netflix, maybe I'll put a link on it if I can find it. But I'll put in our description. But it's one of those things that, bro, that is that
Minhas? Hassan Minhas.
Yeah.
It was
Minhas.
Hassan Minhas.
But his coverage was awesome, and he was able to get in and talk to people that were very, very involved in it. And this is going back, like, I think about 2-3 years. And now look at the state of affairs. Like I say, for me personally, it's just, maybe I don't know if I look at it from the perspective of just for everyone. And this is what he says in his thing is, what is the benefit to cricket? There's yes, it's all money, right? And I get that, and I'm not naive to that. That is the only thing that they are benefiting as an ICC and as an organization, is that by giving the power to England, Australia, India, but now it is basically India. That is what is the benefit, is that they are making the big money. But for a sport like cricket, where I think if you compare it to a lot of other, like it's considered as one of the biggest sports in the world, especially India, Pakistan, this and that. But unfortunately,
some money spent on those, isn't it? Now those games.
We are, bro. If you look at a sport like this, and they still need to develop it. Like you look at football, and how long have they been trying to crack USA, for example, as a market, and now you talk about Saudi as a market. Or you look at
in there, no? Where did the IPL auction happen? In Riyadh.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to,
But then
and also
I'm talking about the local level, not here,
I
like.
think the grassroots.
Yeah, I said obviously Saudi will always be a great place, or has become a great place to put on a show. But you're not going to see, for example, for boxing now. If we're going to talk about Saudi, obviously that's where it started, or WWE
No,
or whatever.
but Saudi have now put in an interest to host a ICC tournament.
Which is fine. But my point to you is, are they going to put that same money that they invest in putting on a show and getting foreigners to come to their country just to fund the economy? That's fine. I get that. That's tourism, this and that, beautiful. But where's the money going to be for their own local cricket team? You know what I'm saying?
Cricket, yeah.
Well, it's one thing to invest. Like with football, they're obviously trying to invest in their
but their football league is better.
Players and what. But everything else, they don't have an infrastructure or whatever, and it's not going to come overnight, even with all the money in the world.
But it'll be all the expats that will be there anyway. So, but yeah, you're right.
This is what I'm trying to say. The point is,
I get it.
the sad state of affairs is, if you're trying to develop cricket, you've got nations, bro, that are even to a lesser extent, you got your Scotland, your like Kenya, like the teams you see, Canada, that they pop up in all these tournaments and whatnot, and they have a little bit. You would say, bro, if they had the same push that way, you could understand. You go, you know what, they're trying to push cricket in that. Like when the World Cup, I was not against it, because I'm like, okay, there's a big interest. They want to push there. Yes, it was a money making. There was money behind it. Obviously,
it didn't work.
Yeah, for other reasons, don't it? Because they didn't have the stadiums and this.
They were makeshift stadiums, but even that, it's just.
I just feel like I say, as a whole, for the future of cricket, I'm worried. I know we normally talk about future of Pakistan. I'm worried.
Just as a whole, you're right. And
as a nation, because Pakistani, the one thing I can say is that the reason that we are so passionate about Pakistani cricket, for example, is that cricket is the heartbeat of our nation.
It's the only thing we hold on to.
But as growing up, right, we watch football. Honestly, no, अपने what did this? Honestly, no, अपने rugby देखी, कुछ भी देख लिया. This was one place where we said, okay, I could be proud to be a Pakistani, and that's what it stems from.
It was this in hockey, wasn't
it? But hockey, the game now, and even hockey is not the same level as cricket. You know what I'm saying?
Not now.
Or in terms of just as a Brit, right, as a British Asian, right, we were competing with England. Right, and beating England back in the day, so we could walk in and school and be like,
chest off.
Yeah, what's going on, boys? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the difference. That's why it's so important to us as a sport. And for me, obviously, like I say, when I watch this type of thing happening, where frankly, there's no, these announcements happened as soon as what's his face came in as a chairman
Jay Shaw.
ICC,
right?
And it was no coincidence. And all of this is just. It's no coincidence.
It's not.
And these things cannot be ignored.
But the thing is, just prior to when all this sort of feathers were being, ruffled up, they were talking about the hybrid or India doesn't want to go because of security concerns, etc.
Yeah, that's all expected stuff.
And then all of a sudden. But they're not making any decisions. The ICC are going, having meetings. India, Pakistan.
It's all for show, bro.
It's all show, of course.
Bro, why did we go to India? And why did we go for the World Cup? Why was Pakistan? Why was that okay? Like, how is that equally?
It's always been
the way that it went.
It's always been okay.
But then they used to come to Pakistan before. That used to happen, this was the first time since all this stuff. Bans and this that we went to India, and the reason is because it's a safe country and they've got the protocol. But our players, okay, they got a lot of respect, and once again we pointed out a lot of the things, but we did not have freedom in India. Pakistan team were led around and then escorted out.
Yeah. They got respect
from the public, yes.
From the public,
yeah.
Lekin, one state didn't give it, and the reason I want to talk about that. Not for too long, because that one state has branches that then interlocks into this Series Champions Trophy decision.
Okay.
Without getting political and I don't want to talk about religion
facts,
and all that, but I'm talking about facts. Unfortunately, people are blind and they're not seeing this, or they don't want to talk about it.
Which is probably more likely.
I'm going to talk about it.
Go on.
So, we went Hyderabad.
Yeah.
We were welcomed like kings.
So that was the base, right?
Here you go. we played in Kolkata. We were given respect,
Mhm.
and it was beautiful.
Yeah, man. People
Okay.
been waiting to see Barber. I mean, we'd covered it at the time, but
Done.
people waiting to watch our players play.
So look, this time we didn't go Delhi, Mohali. Well, whenever we've played there,
Yeah, that would have been same.
Alhamdulillah, we've had a good crowd.
Mm.
People travel from different states to come and see Pakistan play in India. But the moment we enter Gujarat,
India, Pakistan.
that's where the problem starts.
Mm.
And
That wasn't just for Pakistan.
Sorry?
I'd like to point out as well that it wasn't just for the Pakistani fans that had issues in that crowd. We saw things with Sri Lankan team. Bangladeshi, I think it was, sorry.
I'm talking. No, I'm not.
I'm saying, I'm not
fine.
just a general.
I'm not making an agenda. I'm trying to open people's eyes because I'm trying to link this to the CT24. Yeah. The problem is that state and the people of that state have got a problem with our country and our nation more than anyone. That is unfortunately the truth. Okay? Then you talk about how it links into the CT. The people that run that state or have more powers, etc.
Yeah, obviously. It's
are linked with the BCCI. Correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know more than me.
Well, there are Jay Shah.
Yeah, what you said about Jay Shah and his connections.
And then, like I said, the political party, etc., which I don't want to go into. They're linked into this, yeah? They won't allow. They don't want this. Mumbai and Maharashtra won't allow Pakistan. They will. Yeah. When was the last time? When did Pakistan play in Mumbai?
Well, apart from that.
No, Pakistan. Mumbai mein kab khela?
We consulted. India-Pakistan match was where?
Ahmedabad. Gujarat. Maharashtra has not hosted us.
Fair.
My point is that, but those two states have huge linkage to the BCCI, who now have the upper hand in the ICC. Their chairman is an ex-BCCI, which again for me is a bit. No, that's another episode to go into.
I was going to say that was bound to happen at some point.
But they are the ones pulling the strings.
Regardless of who the chair is, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying
this would have happened. But like I said, there's no coincidence.
This is a joke. I'm disappointed in this, but look, it is what it is now. Listen, we are not a powerhouse. Financially,
it's not about we, bro. Like you said, it's not about we. It's about us, right? Because you're not the majority. Not money-wise, because I know that it's all money-led. So I'm not trying to be naive or silly in saying what I'm saying. But like when this happened, when the big three, going back, I can't even remember now,
long time
years ago, yeah. But when the big three were established and ICC changed their structure to allow them to have more funding than the rest of the nations, Pakistan were the only nation that stood up against the rest of the nations.
And South Africa.
In the end, yeah, South Africa were there, and then they backed down, and then PCB were left isolated. And then it was just a standoff, and then obviously one versus the rest.
Same with
but
this.
And even everybody else standing down at the time, rumor was, from what I remember, was they were given a little bit of a moolah. Here you go.
Yeah, of course it was.
And now this is the fruit of that, whatever was set up then. And like I say, I don't want to long on about it because I think we've gone on, but. It's just bad for the future. And
it's not good.
Linked into that, brother, just before we forget.
Stadiums. I mean,
there's a month left.
So ICC are doing a visit any day.
I mean, I saw a little video the other day on YouTube somewhere. One of these brothers was going around with the camera. I mean, they are doing the work. It's not
I'm not saying that.
They'll probably be ready because they'll just have them working. They're probably working now. But through the night.
It's. How long have they had? 4 years?
Especially for a stadium like Gaddafi Stadium.
Gaddafi Stadium.
The national, it's been there. And they knew for
they were putting up. I saw the chairs going up yesterday.
Yeah.
They look so honest, but I don't know. Honestly, they did look really. The chairs did not look nice, but as in colours were nice because it was like the greens and the whites, and they always trying to get the colour, which is nice, and it looked nice from the drone shot. I think that was leaking. They didn't look comfortable. They looked like plasticky and stuff. But anyway, listen. It's bombs on seats. Get the stadiums full.
Hamara Bachara Bajan, with the money we provide that, the money they're going to get, yes, they're going to get a lot of revenue from this tournament, but because our ticket prices are low, because we're not compared to a tournament in the USA or whatever, even as a whole, we're not going to get as much money for this tournament.
No, but did you remember I sent you that article last week
Mm.
that the ICC have agreed, because it's still a PCB tournament,
Yeah.
as in the host nation,
Yeah,
etc.
No, I saw that.
Over 50% of profit will go to the PCB. So,
But that includes TV rights, bro.
yes, correct.
So this is what I'm saying. So the money from the
absolutely
actual
right,
seats, you know what I'm talking like?
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't
you're right.
equate like say when a tournament happened in America, for example,
It'll
for an example,
out.
even their little pop-up stadium, they probably made God knows how many millions just for that one match,
Crazy.
and then that million plus TV rights plus that one game would have probably funded the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Tomorrow probably even with filling out that stadium with it bigger, they're not gonna.
Because obviously
There's still big money because TV, but that's unfortunately
also Lahore is 35,000 seater.
35,000 at like £60 a head, like, you know what I mean? It's not going to equate to the same level that obviously has become normal now.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and I'm still happy. I'd still rather they got people in.
Karachi Stadium
locals.
is still a lot of work left. Brindley Stadium, they've just replaced the chairs only.
But that's all they're doing.
That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just focusing on National Stadium and Lahore.
But hospitality has to be.
Listen.
Word business, bro.
We are very.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why
hospitality is gonna be beautiful. Yeah. There's really upsetting. Yeah, they got two beautiful stadiums. They're not using them. They've just rebuilt the Arnab Niazi Stadium, Peshawar.
Yeah,
bro, it's beautiful.
But they're not colourful. No matches there.
So PSL is talking about being there.
Yeah, he'll be there.
The other one they've done is the one in
Guadalajara. That one is sick. Yeah.
That's so sick.
But that one they've had time for that.
The background. Have you seen the background? The pitch looks like a carpet. I want to sleep on it. Like, it looks nice though, isn't it?
Yeah. But that stadium they've been
That's the.
With that whole new development.
It looks, like, I really used to like Dharamshala in India. You know, that stadium is beautiful. In Himachal. Gorgeous. And for me, this is our version of it. And हमारे पहाड़ियाँ हैं.
But they've done it well, yeah.
Beautiful है. वहाँ पे cricket होती नहीं है. As in
not yet. I think maybe in the future. That's the nice thing, isn't it? They would have been.
They've been a bit of Cape Town as well. You know the backdrop. You got the tabletop mat in the back, and you got, that's quite nice.
Something that we need to highlight in our country as well, bro. Because I think, as in, luckily YouTube's doing it nowadays.
Yeah, so many.
Brother Callum and all these.
Brother Callum abroad, he's a legend.
But
he's gonna get a Pakistan nationality soon.
He'll be like George. Remember George for Pakistan back in the day? There was that English guy who went there and.
No.
I'll show you.
You have to send me the link to this.
Well, yeah.
I know right now vloggers are going to Pakistan a lot. I've been watching some.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like they are getting there, and obviously everyone is becoming, alhamdulillah, it's becoming a good thing, like good reputation for tourists and all that. This will help, regardless of all this nonsense. This will help, but it is just baby steps, unfortunately. Which it could have been a lot bigger. Massive. I remember, bro. Till this day, I remember. Pakistan when they had the World Cup in '96 and all that, and I was there just before. And I remember, bro, till this day, like one of those weird memories. You know what I mean? Like driving around, seeing the posters. Like the little on the lights and all that. Everywhere you went,
Wills World Cup,
and it's coming, and all the the teams that had the little banners and all that. And unfortunately, I couldn't.
Bro,
attend, but
like I was in Pakistan when cricket came back.
Yeah, you went for that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just the whole, bro.
Like a few days.
Insane. I can't wait, bro, for the intros, and I can't wait to see the country and the public coming out and just seeing Pakistan. And
it's gonna be
all of that is still stands. But I'm gonna unfortunately watch that Pakistan India match from home. Sad that it's not happening in Pakistan, and I'm gonna watch any India game
if I get the ticket in the end, because
just take a little banner.
I'll do something.
Protest.
I'm excited. I really hope I get the tickets. Because I know I really want.
Otherwise, you will be outside the stadium with a banner.
वो तो है. वो तो है. मैं तो घुस जाऊंगा. मैं तो अंदर घुस जाऊंगा, bro. दो डंडे खा लूंगा मैं, तो जाऊंगा
That
मैच
will be the
देखने।
last time we see Marjan, but that's it.
Okay, मैच देखना है।
Ciao, bro. Anyway, it's been been good opportunity to catch up.
Yeah.
And we had a lot to cover, so this might be a bit of a long one, but
What, man?
we'll try and cut it up.
So
We're gonna
good.
try a few different things as well, inshallah, with maybe clipping it up and getting some more material on TikTok and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll have time, inshallah, to get that done. But yeah, guys, it's always a pleasure. We will try and do one soon. We obviously got a lot of good cricket coming up, so we've got things to cover. That's normally why we have a bit of a break here and there. So, but yeah, inshallah, we'll be back. And until, as always, back the pack.
Back the pack, guys.